The two-faced polls to the 60-member Manipur Assembly have become a multi-cornered fight, with allies fighting against each other. The elections would be held in two phases on February 28th and March 5th. In the 2017 Assembly polls, the Congress emerged as the single largest party with 28 MLAs. The BJP won 21 seats. Later, around 8 Congress MLAs left the party. The BJP got support from the National People's Party and Naga People's Front, who had won 4 seats each. 1 MLA each from Trinamool Congress, the Lok Jan Shakti Party, and a lone independent member also supported the government.
NPP is contesting 39 seats, NPF is contesting 10 seats, and Congress, on the other hand, has cobbled up an alliance of 6 parties, which include CPI, CPIM, RSP, JDS, Forward Bloc, and name it as Secular Progressive Alliance. Congress is contesting 54 seats, whereas BJP is contesting 60 seats.
ये एनपीपी आप लोग भूल जाइए, ये सब पार्टी का कोई वैल्यू नहीं है। दुनिया में कोई नहीं जानता है कि ऐसा पार्टी कोई है। इसलिए मैं आप लोग को बोलना चाहता हूँ, ये तो एनपीपी इस टाइम थोड़ा मंत्री बन चुका, ये बीजेपी के लिए बनाना, अपना तो कुछ नहीं था उन लोगों को। और आगे ये इस बार मैं आप लोग को बोलना चाहता हूँ कि मणिपुर का आगे का सरकार में एनपीपी नहीं रहेगा, बीजेपी अकेला सरकार बनाएगा।
The Janata Dal United, the Nitish Kumar-led party that rules Bihar, in alliance with the BJP, has fielded 38 candidates in the election for Manipur, contesting in the state after almost 2 decades. Its candidates include several BJP rebels and former Congress leaders, including a former chief secretary, a former director general of police, and Brinda Devi, a cop-turned-politician.
Both Congress and BJP are refraining from naming the chief ministerial face. BJP, however, has hinted that N. Biren Singh will lead the government post-March 10.
The Congress said that the decision on the chief minister will be taken in consultation with allies and with elected MLAs.
I hope this time definitely there will be a change. I know the pulse, mindset of the people of Manipur, both hill and valley. They feel the time has come to change in Manipur. And there will be a new government will definitely formed by the Congress government.
Congress has lambasted BJP for skipping mention of Armed Forces Special Power Act in its election manifesto. The controversial act gives sweeping power to armed forces. Congress has in its manifesto promised to leave Armed Forces Special Power Act and preserve the unity and territorial integrity of Manipur.
The NPP promised to work towards the repeal of AFSPA from Manipur. The Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, in an interview to ET last month, had said that while he was against AFSPA personally, the ground reality was that some militants are there.
Is my priority, our priority is the nation first. Nation's integrity, nation's unity, and nation's safety is very much important. You know, many militants are still existing in the state. Right now, they are not surrendering their weapons and they are inside the tent. And our state is bordering with the Myanmar.
Nagaland-based Naga People's Front is campaigning that this election is for Naga unity. Greater Nagaland is one of the core demands of NSC and IM.
Greater Nagaland stipulates the integration of Naga inhabited areas of Assam, Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, and Myanmar. There is stiff opposition to the NSC and IM's demands in these states. The ruling BJP has promised to protect the territorial integrity and preserve the rights of the indigenous people of Manipur and its rich cultural heritage in its manifesto.
Valley divide is one of the talked about issues of this election. Valley accounts for 40 assembly seats, whereas the Hill accounts for 20 assembly seats. Hill has 90% of the areas, whereas it accounts for 10% of the population of the state, whereas 60% of the population of the state lives in 10% in the valley. The valley is dominated by Hindus, non-tribal Meiteis, whereas in hills there are Christian, Nagas, Kukis and Zomi.
The BJP-led government in 2017 promised to cement the divide. Chief Minister N. Biren Singh launched Go to Hills and Go to Villages to expedite development measures. It is alleged that there is hardly any facility in the hills and infrastructure is non-existent. The Congress alleges that only 47.6% of the eligible population has got double-dose vaccination in Manipur. And the government has effectively shut the doors of the autonomous district councils by not holding elections in the last 5 years. Unidentified miscreants shot the father of a National People's Party candidate in Manipur's Imphal district. The NPP has complained to the Election Commission that militants were threatening its candidates.
We in politics and democracy have always believed in casting expressions through our speeches and our votes, but this kind of behavior and this kind of an action is completely unacceptable. We'll be meeting the Chief Electoral Officer. I have already called him up in the morning and expressed our deep concern on the kind of current situation that's prevailing in this elections.
This is Bikash Singh from Economic Times bringing you all the updates and details of Manipur election.